Superman in with Batman and Superman 2. Here we have Catwoman and Batman in a romantic embrace. She looks pretty vulnerable with him in this one, I think. So she can go with the Joker because she is a Gotham City siren. And here's our first Superman on his own on the cover. There are, of course, the gravestones of his parents, Jonathan and Martha Kent. And this was £2. What a bargain. So this one here is a very kind of artsy style. Sorry, I'm trying to let you see it, but without having the glare, because I'm right next to the window and I don't want to kill your eyeballs. So let's move it like this. She's wearing a really pretty dress, and there are some flowers here reminiscent of a little bit Poison Ivy-esque, but obviously it's Catwoman, and she has a bouquet. So that's awesome. Next up, here is Superman trying to intimidate the Joker. This actually looks like a puppet. It doesn't look like the actual Joker himself. He looks too fake, if you know what I mean. Looks like a doll. And here, of course, we have Punchline, who has strung up the Joker in some rope and hung him upside down. So that can go across with the villains. I like this. I like the colours on it. It's pretty. They kind of suit each other pretty well because she's got the purple and the green, and he's obviously purple and green too. Okay, so here's our first one for the miscellaneous pile, and that is Green Arrow. I love the way they've done the writing on his wall there, and he's just in his classic pose. This one was only £2. That's pretty good. This is obviously Selena Kyle, and she's got all of her Catwoman bits and pieces around her. Again, she has a bouquet, and she's in a kind of ball gown, almost reminiscent. Sorry, that's pork in the background. Almost reminiscent of a wedding dress, like black, like her suit, and elements of white satin. So that's really nice. We have Superman in a Wild West style of outfit. He's got his little cowboy hat and a gun holster, belt, and some gloves. That's cool. Here we have Batman being strung up by Ivy. She's got like earphones holding his hands up. This of course couldn't go with the villains. I do apologise for Pork making a noise. I think she's headed upstairs now, but this is kind of the nature of unedited, like old school style videos, is that you have life in the background. Life being cats and the occasional sneeze. Okay, so here we have Judge Dredd, and there is a really cool skull here. Some claws. I don't even know what this is actually meant to be. Like, what is happening here? That plastic sleeve does not want to lay flat. Okay. This one is called looks similar to Batman's own outfit, but I don't actually know who he is. I believe this is supposed to be Harley Quinn, just going by the outfit. She had a Joker mask that she's lifted up, and underneath is basically the Joker's face. Like, this does not even look like Harley Quinn at all. That is creepy. Oh my goodness. Look at that. So far, this pile is in the lead. I thought I would have more Batman by now, but this is a very different kind of style. This is Poison Ivy. She kind of looks like in Titanic when Rose is like, paint me like one of your French girls. And she's actually being drawn as well. I wonder if it's by Jack from the Titanic. Got a delicious looking donut here. I don't think that is Jack from the Titanic because I don't remember him having long black nails. But you know, anything can happen in the DC universe. So here we've got a Batman and Superman crossover with the Flash in the middle there. Shazam is what I meant, not the Flash. And I feel like I've seen this cover before. Maybe it was in the old box. Maybe there's a duplicate because I'm sure I remember him holding unconscious Superman and unconscious Batman like that. I have a really strong memory of seeing that somewhere. So that can go there. We have so many to go through, you guys. It's gonna take forever. I hope you're ready for the longest video because there are really so many. This one's called Doomsday Clock. Has Joker applying his lipstick in a compact mirror. Batman Last Night on Earth. Can somebody tell me who this is, because I don't recognise them. They have like little bat ears, the same as Batman, but I don't know who it is. This writing reminds me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because it's the same kind of green with like the texture on it. And now we have Shazam, who can go on his own little pile of miscellaneous people. This one went down from £15 to £5, so that's a pretty good bargain. And it is just the classic of Batman and the Joker having a little fight on the cover, as is always the way. We have Batgirl, who's going to have to go with the villains because she's a Batman sidekick, and Superman with his X-ray. Is it X-ray vision or laser vision? I actually can't remember what it's called. His shiny red laser beams. So this one's an interesting one. It's called Kingdom Come, and obviously I recognise Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. This looks like Green Arrow, but he's red. That's weird. I don't recognise this guy. Who is that? He looks like a ghost. Shall I put this with Bat? No, I don't know. Because it's kind of Justice League type thing, but I'm not sure. I might put it in miscellaneous just because it's got so many people in it. Here is another classic Superman looking very possessed, at least slightly evil, wouldn't you say? He has like blood on his hands too. Superman, the Man of Steel, look at that hair. Oh my goodness. This must have been during quarantine when everyone was locked down and couldn't visit the hairdressers because he's let it get out of control. That one's called The Beginning of Tomorrow. DC, The Silent Tales. I've never heard of that before. I love the kind of old school cartoon style. And they have Batman tied up with a little bomb. There's some dynamite that's gonna go off. Judge Dredd, I'm sure we've had this one already. Let me look. So this looks like a duplicate, right? I'm not going crazy. I guess when you have this many comics, you probably forget what you do and don't have. But we'll put them together. Another Doomsday clock with the Joker at the bottom having fallen over. This one was just £2. That's pretty good. If this pile gets any bigger, we're going to have to make a second of it because it's going to start sliding over to Batman. Justice League, Cry for Justice. I don't know why, but this cover makes me think of Christmas. I guess because of the greens and reds, and this guy's like a winter-eared. That's so funny. We have Green Arrow. What looks like Poison Ivy. Oh my goodness, I need to brush up on my superheroes and villains because I can't name the rest of them. Oh, obviously like someone from The Flash, and I definitely recognize that symbol. What is it? Oh my goodness. I need a refresher course in comic book characters. That's gonna have to go in miscellaneous because there's just so many of them. Master Skywalker. Okay, so we've got a Green Arrow here, and this looks like Robin, a version of Robin because of the R right here. And there's like the helmet from Batman Who Laughs. Again, it's gonna have to go miscellaneous just because because Green Arrow's on there as well, and it's just got a few people on it, so okay, the next one we have is an episode of Batman with the Joker she is. She looks like a judge or whatever they're called. She's carrying like an emaciated kind of skeleton of a person. So here we have a Batman and Superman, and obviously you can see the Batman who laughs helmet here. On the back there's an advert for the Birds of Prey movie, which I really liked. This one's pretty cool. It's Batman Beyond, but the style of it is metallic with such a pop of red on his wings. The writing almost looks pixelated too. We have a classic Catwoman. Batman and Superman standing on top of a stone man who laughs type statue again. I'm guessing my friend who collects these comics really likes the man who laughs one. I know he does like a cosplay of it, so I'm guessing he really likes it. Here we have Batman and Superman yet again, and it looks like his laser, I was going to say laser eye surgery. It looks like it's more of an actual flame than a pointed beam, like specifically. That's cool. Dark Knight 3. And then another one just similar. Batman and Superman in a bit of a fight by the looks of it. I've got a few out so they don't keep falling over for you. Next up we have Punchline and the Joker, with him just kind of fading into the background. Another Dark Knight 3 with Batman, and I want to say that this Robin is female, but it's hard to tell. But I think so, possibly, maybe. Yeah, I think so. Especially looking at the, yeah, anyway. Wait. This doesn't have Superman in it, so it pains me to split up the Dark Knight 3s. I might leave it there. This one is called Joker, a puzzle box. Never seen anything like this one before. Wonder what the storyline will be. That looks really cool, actually. And then on the back there's an advert for the Batman movie, which was so good. I really loved that film, actually. I don't know if have you guys seen the second Joker movie with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix? I loved the first film, and I know the second film didn't really go over too well, but I thought I needed to watch it regardless, and I kind of liked it. I mean, it wasn't anything great compared to the Joker movie, but I really did love parts of it, and I won't give spoilers away, but some people didn't like the ending, but I thought it was actually pretty clever, and explained a lot as well. So Binks has just come in, so I'm going to push the door closed. here we have a Legends of the Dark Knight, and it's Batman fighting a shark. This reminds me of like the original Batman, you know, when he's like got the shark repellent, and he says like the classic quote, "Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb." I think I'm getting that right. Batman and the Joker, the deadly duo. So it's coming open slightly. Another deadly duo to add to the collection. Luckily it came up just after that one. And here we have Superman, red and blue, with all different depictions of Superman flying up in the sky. And there's a Lois Lane there. Super Dog, I'm guessing that's called. Super Cat, even, maybe. Hi, Binks. He's come to bite everything. Hi, buddy. So that can go with the Superman comics. And then we have another Batman and the Joker deadly duo. So luckily that can go right next to the other two. Hey, buddy. This one is just another standard Batman and the Joker cover. Binks has decided to make a bed for himself right where the piles are, which is very cute. He's molting so badly because they're just starting to lose their winter coat and get their summer coat through. Okay, we have another Judge Dredd again with like the bones and stuff. This seems to be a theme. The same claws too, actually. And a Batman with a picture of Joker's shadow in the background laughing maniacally, which was £1. Some of these are such a good bargain, I think. This one is really cool. So it's holographic, and you can see it change from black to yellow. That is really cool. I love the holographic ones, but this might be my favorite just because of the color, how it suddenly pops. And it's Batman changing into some sort of variant of the Flash. I'm not sure why he's yellow, but that is cool. looks really cool. Look at that. Looks so angry too. Okay. So here's another Judge Dredd one to add to that pile. Holly's Little Black Book, and you can see Batman's got the Joker strung up and Harley Quinn's just kind of chilling over here. A Green Arrow in all his emerald glory. This is a pretty obscene version of the Joker. That is gross. Not just like the face, but the hair as well looks crazy, and his eyes are like so sunken around them. That's really scary. These are getting stuck on Binks's back. Batman and Superman, with Superman looking like, I don't know, like a news anchor or something. I actually have some artwork that's a little bit like this, of Batman on a gargoyle. It's not too similar, but it just reminded me of it because he's on the gargoyle. I really like this one. I think that looks really cool. It's not something you usually see Catwoman cozying up to the Joker, and the Joker wearing a suit of not this typical colours. So this is a Catwoman, Batman Catwoman. I don't know why I really like that actually. I think that's cool. And then another pretty freaky version of the Joker. This looks like a sleep paralysis demon. I thought there was some in there, but it was a reflection. I was like, oh my goodness, how many do we have? I swear I could make a whole section on just covers that show Batman fighting with the Joker. That could be a whole theme in itself. Oh, that's where I recognised him. He's Calendar Man, right? I'm sure that's Calendar Man, isn't it? Not this guy. This was £1. Batman, Superman, mark your calendars. Again, he looks like he may have had some filler. A very cartoonish kind of depiction of the Flash. Something a bit different. And then we have Superman in all his glory. Everyone else is kind of having to shield their eyes. We've got Wonder Woman at the top. Batman, the Flash, Aquaman, and is he called Cyborg? I can't remember. Green Lantern and Black Canary. I love this outfit. I've never seen this outfit of hers before. It's really nice. It's like a blue armor kind of style. Dawn of DC Catwoman. All's fair in love and war. Like I mentioned previously on the soft spoken video, this suit is really counterproductive because, like, why would you have this vulnerable area open to attack? But then I suppose if it's dry clean only and you sweat, this would be pretty good because you wouldn't have to keep cleaning it. But on the other hand, maybe this is how she cleans it anyway. Looks like. Here we have Nightwing versus Hush, which is good because I wouldn't have known. I may have known, but I don't think I would have known who that is, so it gave me a big clue. I think it's kind of unfair that he has guns, though. That's a bit of an unfair advantage on the playing field. Oh, sorry. Here we have Shazam looking very pleased with himself. Oh my goodness, he never skips leg day. You can tell that. Wow. A kind of zombie-esque depiction of Superman rising up out of what looks like some lava, maybe. Although I think his clothes would be more ruined than that if it was lava, but it still looks pretty hot. The liquid, I mean. Just a few more left now. Let's take the last of them. We have about 6 or 7 to get through. This is called Heroes in Crisis, and we even have Harley Quinn at the front there too, which is interesting considering it's called Heroes. Everybody looks super like solemn. I'm not sure what's happened in this one, but I'm going to put that in the miscellaneous pile because everybody's there. This is another one that is holographic, like you can move it, but it's less that it changes and it's more kind of like it's a 3D effect. So, I don't know if you can see that, but these things look like they're 3D. Almost. That's Doomsday. We have a Batman and Catwoman again. Quite a lot of those in this box too. Sorry, Binks. He's had enough. He's had enough of me. I swear he wants to get in the box. Every time there's a box out, he tries to get into it, even if it's tiny. Even if it's a tiny, tiny box. He's gone. Okay, we have another zombified look at Batman here. Look at that face. That's so good. A vintage style look at Supergirl. Pink seems to be interested in this one. Pinks, please. What are you doing? Batman Eternal. And last but not least, we have another Catwoman to end on, which is pretty apt considering this cat has kind of tried to steal the show a little bit. The comedy's molting, oh my goodness, that's terrible. You'd think I don't brush him, and yet